Hey, I'm Eric Haugen. Here's my website, Patreon, Instagram, Spotify artist page. Like my videos and subscribe to my channel if you determine that the content is entertaining for you. It helps me when you do that. Today, we're going to talk about sus chords because they're a nice thing to add. Let's play a C chord. What a sus chord is, if you don't know, it stands for suspended. And what it means is the third of the chord, the chewy, delicious center of the chord, is being moved. There's C sus 4, back to C. Let's move that third down to a 2. So that's different than an add 9 chord. An add 9 chord means the original chord is still there, the root, the third, the fifth. Let's add the 9. And that's your, I'm in a coffee shop in the 90s and I just got dumped. So again, C sus 4, back to C. Now, I'm going to tune again. What people don't know, why are you being weird today, buddy? Okay, well, apparently according to that, you're in tune. No one knows this chord, C minor in the open position. Because the cool thing is sus chords can resolve to minors or majors. Doesn't matter. There's C minor, C sus 4, back to C minor triad, C sus 2, back to that C minor. No one knows that chord. By the way, this chord's super cool. If you screw up, $1 million. It's the Austin Powers chord. This good chord to know. So if we want to know chords and work on them, what you do is you take them through caged. C shapes, A shapes, G shapes, E shapes, D shapes. Let's look at A. John Lennon, Happy Christmas, War is Over. This is a hard one to get. Good example of some A sus action. Actually, there's a lot of sus chords in that whole song. That whole song is a great lesson in sus chords. There's A. The third is now that C sharp. Pop that off. There's our sus 4. Also, I just realized, Ticket to Ride. Boy, doesn't that Supro sound good with a Stratocaster, just clean. Also though, let's just to show you A minor, or A sus 2, A sus 4 resolve into A minor. Oh, Radiohead, Street Spirit, Fade Out. Where is it? Oh. Yay. That was A's. Let's look at G. By the way, if you play G like this, that's okay, or like this. This is, to me, the cool way. Everything sounds like free falling with sus chords. That's not the key. There's G, so yeah, that muted out. I hate this note, and most people do. It's a derp note. Hey guys, can I be part of the chord? No! You sound stupid. So you just mute it out. That means that C note is up there, the sus 4. And sus 2 is interesting. Because we got that muted. Of course, I could resolve these to G minors in the open position. Check that. If you screw up, yeah, G minor 6, by the way. That's a cool chord too. Cheap sunglasses? I don't really remember it. Okay, that's detour. There's G. Let's look at some of our E's. E, sus4, back to E. The 2 is that F sharp. So a cool way to get that is that, like that. There's slowdown gears in YouTube, spacebar pauses, arrows go forward and back. You can see what I'm doing, I hope. Everything sounds like Free Fallin'. That is a great song. I don't know if I actually ever get sick of that song. Have we mentioned how much I love Tom Petty and Mike Campbell and Benmont Tench and Stan Lynch and Ron Blair? Am I forgetting any of the Heartbreakers? Oh, and Epstein. Is it Howie Epstein? Yeah, love those guys. So yeah, your sus or a sus2 looks like that. But watch out though, don't forget E minor. You just gotta watch out, because if you do hit the, I mean, that's cool as hell. That's just now an add 9 because it has the 3rd. And that, which for my favorite one. That's a Haugen chord right there. Watch, I can bring in the 6. What's this lick I had? That's actually, that's on a Nantahala track. When is that EP gonna come out? So I have my record I'm working on. It's coming along nicely. I'm gonna be mixing it next week. But I have a EP with my folk friends, Nantahala, that guitar part's on there. Cool. E minor, and let's look at these. Of course, Free Fallin'. So D, there's our sus4. Back to D, there's our sus2. I actually argue, you know, Paul actually has a great song that uses a lot of D sus's, Mother Nature's Son. I'll use that pickup. Everybody, you know, learns Blackbird, but I actually argue Mother Nature's Son is a cooler song. Paul, man, Paul's cool. All right, so your homework now that we've looked at C's, A's, G's, E's, and D's, notice cage shapes because yo. For us rock guitar players, the reason I like cage so much is literally, all the stuff you play is somehow going to be shaped like a C chord, an A chord, a G chord, an E chord, or a D chord. Any lick, any riff, any inversion, any triad, any arpeggio. That's why I lean on it so heavily. It's just a great sorting system for things. Yo, truth bombs for rock players. So say we're back in the key of G, and we had a pretty pedestrian progression. So we're going back into my series and thinking about standard chord progressions, like a 1, 6, a 2, a 5. All right, so you're like, that's nice, that's nice. Let's put some susses in. Let's leave the G alone, but let's like E minor, a sus4. Let's like A minor, a minor 7. And let's make D a D7. So we put 1 sus in and 2 7s. Let's see what that feels like. getting more interesting, isn't it? So again, a little detour. Yo. If you can play lead guitar passably well, and your test is, can you play the opening of Breakdown? That's good enough. That's good enough for now. Go back. Make sure you know your seventh chords, your sus chords, you know, your bar chords, like that. Yeah, because most any guitar, any real working guitar player will tell you that it's chords. It's knowing chords and rhythms and grooves and being able to contribute interesting texturally. You know what I mean. Contribute to the whole song. We don't want to just be bashing away at pedestrian chords waiting for our chance to show off the hot lick that we learned from YouTube. I don't agree with that. And I'm freaking guilty of it. But you'll see me more and more. I mean, I did a thing on chords last week. I did a thing on chords this week. I'm probably just going to like dig my heels in on this and be like, do we know our chords? Do we really know chords? Like, and I'm not even talking about fancy, you know, Steely Dan chords. I'm just talking like the slightly more colorful standard chords, because it's going to have huge dividends in the way you sound when you're playing with other people, or just the way you sound. All right, so I'm going to modify this one more while I was thinking about this progression. So we got the G. And then I started to think, I like the E sus4, but then I started to think, can I keep that note up on top? And the answer is yeah. Am I going to bash this out? All right, hold on. My excuse for playing that wrong note was I was looking at my preamp while I was doing it. So yeah, I had a regular G bar chord, a big E, sus4, there's the 7, just another G, that's chord tone still, A minor 7, and I was like, oh, then D7, sus4, 7 sus4 chords, very cool. Gives us, yeah. More colorful than just... More colorful without becoming a full-on jazz song, because we talked about a couple of weeks ago with seventh chords, how much you can ruin stuff with seventh chords if you just put them everywhere. So it's like, yeah, you mix and match, you know, you kind of selectively put a little, yeah, it's just like painting, you know, or drawing. You're like, I'm going to put a little more something right there. Leave the other thing alone, put a little something right there. And this is one, yeah, sus chords are one of the things you can do. Last thing I want to talk about with your homework is there are some rules to, like, okay, say we're in the key of G major. If we look at that key, what? I turned it into Lydian on the way down. If I look at the key, just trust me, I sat around and did my analysis. 1 can be a sus4 or a sus2. 2 can be a sus4 or a sus2. 3, though, because to be a sus2, it would be a C natural. That's not going to happen. It can be a sus4, or I guess that would technically be that. 4 is really interesting. The C can be a sus2, but you know, F isn't part of the scale anymore. If we're in the key of G, it actually becomes a sharp sus4, which isn't really a thing. But you know I like weird sounds like that. Listen again. Thank you. The 5 is D sus4. It can be both. E minor can be both also. the 7 chord, the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Don't be afraid of chords that have long names. Can't be a sus2 because that would just be a G natural. That's really weird. It could, I guess, be F sharp minor 7 flat 5 sus4. What does that end up being? I know it would have. Do I have a root in there? Yeah, there it is. F sharp minor 7 flat 5 sus4 over A. Not a particularly useful chord. Hold on, does that resolve though? Kind of does. Wait, where'd that go? I don't know. That doesn't really work. Cool. That's your homework. To see about sneaking in a sus chord here or there, or a 7 sus4. Now, yeah, they're more useful. Again, this is all stuff that's like chords that are slightly colored. They're just a little bit colored. These aren't full-on jazz chords. This is just a little bit more color, because like I think there's a lot we can do with sus chords, slash chords, 6 chords, 7 chords, everything other than like the full-on, 9 sharp 11 over D, when you get into full-on, Steely Dan territory. There's a lot you can do before that point. And yeah, so that's your homework, is be a chordsmith, be grooving, be in the pocket, be making textures. Don't just be waiting to throw hot licks around. Don't do that. Who cares about that person? Thank you to everybody who supports me in all the ways that you do. I don't put ads on my channel, so I make my living by people supporting me on Patreon. Thank you. Thank you to those who do that. Hey, thank you for those of you who watch my videos and click buttons and tell people about me. Somebody shares these. That's cool. That's traffic, because algorithm relevancy is website traffic. Website traffic means I can eat. Buying my PDF downloads also means I can eat. And is there anything else I was going to say? Nope, that's all. As Bill and Ted would say, be excellent to each other. That includes yourself. I'll see you next week, assuming the lighting and construction noises are agreeable to that. Happy Friday. Eat pizza.